Hi, welcome to the STEM Education Program. I am the director, Dr. Jennifer Ellis, and I'm here to greet you and say, ready or not, here we are for fall 2020. And as the bottom of the slide says, we are all Mocs and we shall achieve. We're going to get through this semester together. We're going to learn, we're going to grow, and we're going to think of different ways that we can use technology and tools and resources to enhance the teaching and learning of STEM education. So welcome, welcome, welcome to our new students, to our returning students. We are so excited to have you join us on this learning ride in STEM education. I'm going to brief you on some of the essentials for all of our students on campus and try to highlight some things that are particular for the STEM education program with the new normal on what that looks like for us who are returning to campus and for those of you who are new to campus. So the first thing that you need to familiarize yourself with is a self-check. You need to do this every day. You come on campus, you will do the self-check, and it's a series of questions. It's fairly easy. It's easy to find. It's at the top of the page, and there's also a direct link that you can save as a bookmark on your phone or in your computer and follow the prompts to report your healthy status because you've been wearing masks. Another place on our website that you may want to check daily is the UTC COVID-19 dashboard. It gives you an update of what's going on campus, as well as what's going on in Hamilton County, so you have a better idea of what the status is with respect to COVID-19 on our campus. If you have been in contact with someone who is COVID-19 positive, or yourself is COVID-19 positive, or you think you may be, there's another step in addition to the self-check is that you do need to report. And this will help us with slowing down the spread, identifying whom you've been in contact with, and making sure we are clearly understanding where we need to go with in the next steps the campus needs to make with respect to COVID-19 to keep everybody safe. The STEM education program has decided to use a blended hybrid fashion. What that means is you will not have to come to campus for all of your classes, but you will have to come to campus for some classes. And so your instructor will email you and we will decide what days we will expect you to come on campus. Many of us are using the HyFlex model, which will allow you the flexibility on either coming face-to-face or participating synchronously online. And we'll be either using Zoom or Kaltura for our live sessions. For those of you who unfortunately do get sick, we do have some asynchronous options that we would explore, but we prefer, because we do so much that is inquiry-based and hands-on and active learning, it's best that you participate live, either in person and in the classroom or virtually, and we are set up to do both at the same time. Some classroom management policies: we're going to keep the door of EMCS 206 open, so you don't have to worry about door handles and all that good stuff. You have to wear your mask. You don't have to wear the Power C mask, but you have to wear a mask or a face covering. So make sure when you come to class that you come with a mask so we don't have to go any further and have any other issues. Make sure you sanitize your hands. There are hand sanitizing stations within EMCS, and for those of you who have courses in the Challenger Center, there are hand sanitizing stations there as well. We also have some hand sanitizer in the classroom for those of you who may come into an exit or an entrance. I'm sorry, you may come in an entrance where there is no hand sanitizing station. We will have some in the classroom. Make sure you grab some paper towels. You will spray your desk. It's stated that they want the disinfectant to sit on the desk for a minute and then you wipe it. And we're going to do this at the beginning of class and at the end of class as well. You will have assigned seats. This is not because we're trying to be mean and we want you to feel like you're back in high school. It's just so we can help with contact tracing and make sure that we slow the spread. You're going to be dismissed by your instructor. again, to try to make sure we keep the social distancing and to make sure that we just want to keep you safe. So these are some of the best practices that we've been taught, and we're trying to implement that in our class to also model for you what to do with your future students. Here's a brief demonstration.
Enough! I'm waiting. Pumpty, pumpty, pump. Wait.
For those of you who do not know, that handsome actor was my 4-year-old son, Elijah Ellis. You will hear him and see him this semester, either face-to-face or online. As mentioned, there will be assigned seats. There are some little scrappy feet at where your chair needs to stay. We have measured across the classroom, so every seat is at least 6 feet apart. And there's also places for your instructors to stand that are also 6 feet apart. So we would keep our social distancing within the classroom. Because this is STEM education, you may want to go to the board and do some work. That whole area, we have 6 feet of space there as well, so you'll be fine. We'll be fine, but it's easier if we do have the assigned seating. In the event something does happen, we'll be able to identify where the infected person, instructor was, and be able to navigate accordingly. Our field placements. One of the things that students value most and enjoy most about the STEM education program is our field placements. In STEM 1030, our very first course, we actually have you in the classroom, you're designing lesson plans, you're teaching them, you're working with real students. This year is a little bit different because of COVID and the impact it's had, not just on higher education, but K-12 schools as well. Things are going to look different. You may not be able to physically go into a classroom, but we are actively collaborating with Hamilton County teachers, and you will be in a classroom, but it may just be virtual. This may be the new normal for longer than we think. So this is a wonderful opportunity for you to feel comfortable using technology, for you to learn how to do a both and like your instructors, learning the HyFlex model, learning how to teach face-to-face as well as online, and using all the same tools that current teachers are using. So don't think of this as a disadvantage in comparison to students who have gone through the program ahead of you, but think of this as an advantage because many of them had a traditional experience, and so they have not been able to have the experience that you will have, which will allow you to do a both and. So this is something that will help you to be more marketable in the field, because you can say, for my very first course or within the STEM education program, we were able to teach traditionally as well as online. As mentioned, we are really looking at the real world integration into our curriculum. We want to make sure you're prepared to teach all students. So you'll be working with students from across Hamilton County in rural schools, urban schools, suburban schools, magnet schools, all girls schools, all boys schools, some that are more tech heavy, but we want to make sure you can teach all students and make sure you do that well. And one of the tools and one of the best practices and one of the best philosophies is integrating culturally responsive teaching and pedagogy into our curriculum. So that's something that's going to be weaved in all of our courses. And so you'll be thinking on how do you connect and relate to your students, and using real world examples to help enhance STEM education and make the connection and help the students make the connection to the content that you're teaching. The other thing as mentioned is effective technology integration. There is a specific course, EDUC 4170, that talks about technology, but technology is not something that is confined to one course. It is something that should be weaved out and integrated throughout all of the curriculum. And this is a perfect opportunity on the why, because we're going to be using so many different types of technology and demonstrating for you some best practices. And we look forward for you teaching us some other tools and apps and things of that nature to help us all learn how to effectively integrate technology to enhance the teaching and learning of STEM education. Lastly, here are just some resources. If you find that you're in need of some technology, please do not be afraid to put in a request. They are providing laptops, microphones, webcams, internet, wide hotspots, different types of things that you may need to make sure you're able to be engaged in this new normal here at UTC. This is stressful. This is stressful for everyone. I am stress eating Twizzlers like nobody's business. So some of the things that we definitely encourage you to do is if the stress level is too much and you feel like you are just at your breaking point, don't wait that long. Now is the time to familiarize yourself with the counseling center, talk to someone, and make sure that you just check in. If it's monthly, weekly, whatever it is you need to do just to check in to make sure you are okay. Some of you are still staying at home. Some of you are, because you only have 1 or 2 classes that are meeting face-to-face, you have a long commute. All of that can add stress, and it is normal. COVID can add stress. That is normal. Making sure that you get checked and that you check in on you is essential. So make sure you use the counseling center. If you need some financial support, there is money available for students. For those who are juniors and seniors who are in the STEM education program, you've had the summer to think about it and you're saying, you know what, I really would like to be a Noyes Scholar. You have at least a 3.0 GPA in the different areas and you know that you would like to teach upon graduation, feel free to contact me. There is still funding available for those of you who are interested in being Noyes Scholars. There is also funding available due to COVID from the government that you should contact financial aid. Do not suffer in silence. Let us know what your needs are so we can help you and best support you so you can be successful in this program. I look forward to working with all of you and to meeting you and to learning with you and from you. Go Mocs!